Hey guys, JamesMCD Reviews here. I apologize if I look a bit overdressed. I'm actually leaving for work in about 20 or 30 minutes, but before that I watched the first episode of Cobra Kai because my mom wouldn't shut up about it, and I said that was going to be my next vlog series after WandaVision was finished, so I decided while I have this break in between looking back over the DCEU for the Snyder Cut coming out, I would watch the first episode of Cobra Kai and see what my thoughts on it are. So if you don't know, although I don't know how you wouldn't know by now because it's been such a phenomenon, this is the formerly YouTube original, now Netflix series Cobra Kai based on the Karate Kid trilogy. If you want my thoughts on those movies, I did a whole bucket list episode on them. They're really good, cheesy, but good for what they are. And this show takes it in a very different direction. This first episode we see Johnny Lawrence, played again by William Zabka. It flashes into present day. His life's kind of gone downhill after losing to Daniel in the All Valley tournament. He is just really sick of himself. He's, waking up half drunk. He's, getting into fights with teenagers. He's living off of spoiled foods and shit like that. And you kind of get the sense that he believes that Daniel is at fault for the way he turned out. And, he's constantly being tortured by this guy because he's, gone on to be like a successful auto worker while he has basically done nothing with his life. In this first episode, he meets this kid who's just moved in, and I believe that they're living in the same apartment building that Daniel moved into in the first movie. I don't know if that's true or not, but if it is, it's a cool callback. And he meets this kid. He's kind of obnoxious, kind of like a little annoying, but then he gets his ass kicked by these kids at a convenience store, and then Johnny sticks up for him, and the kid tries to get him to be his karate teacher, and Johnny is like, no, I'm done with that. I don't want to be around that anymore. Just leave me alone, kid. And over time, the more life just kind of kicks him in the face, much like Daniel did all the way back in the 1980s. He ultimately decides, you know what, fuck it, I'm gonna reopen Cobra Kai and train the next generation of killers, basically. So this episode was a really strong start. I have very mixed feelings about sort of like Johnny's point of view, because throughout the episode, it's constantly giving you flashbacks to that tournament when Johnny lost with the face kick and everything, and you're constantly under the impression that he believes that is what caused him to have this, not only how his life turned out, but have this unseething hatred for Daniel. But then they cut out the part when they're showing the flashbacks. They cut out the part where he hands him the trophy willingly and says, "You're all right, LaRusso." That was a very important and very powerful part of the end of the first movie. And I guess for this narrative purpose, they cut it out, which was really interesting to me. And then they even show a flashback of him outside the sports center where the tournament took place, getting hounded by his teacher. That was the opening of the second movie, where the teacher's choking him out and everything. And I guess they're insinuating that the strict teachings and the abusive nature of that guy, also had a hand in why he just stopped doing karate and shit like that. But that it honestly doesn't seem unless he just takes losing really, really hardly, I don't see how that would be a really big issue to him. I still feel you can come back from a loss and succeed in life, but then they also turn that on its head when they have him, they have a scene where his car gets like messed up by these girls. They crash into him, and he ends up getting his car brought to LaRusso's car lot to get it fixed. And then when he tries going there, like, hey, I don't really want my car here. I don't want to be around this guy. I don't like him. He has an interaction with Daniel, played again by Ralph Macchio. Again, they got pretty much everyone who could come back for the show, which I really like. And the interaction is, you can tell he's like, it's tough because you can tell like he's trying to be nice and like bury the hatchet, but at the same time, a lot of the shit he's saying is like really underhanded. Like he's like bragging to his coworkers like, oh yeah, I totally kicked this guy's ass. And like, Johnny brings up like, well, you did move in on my girl. And he's like, well, she wasn't really your girl to begin with and everything like that. And all these are like legitimate points that like, you honestly find it really tough to, like side with someone, and I'm sure this whole feud is gonna develop throughout the season, but it's really interesting. Like, it was a really interesting angle that I didn't expect from this show, and I mean, I'm just happy to see these two characters back because I thought they were great in the movies. In terms of like how the show looks, I think that one thing that it does really well is whenever it has like flashback sequences, when it uses footage from the original movies. Like they have a scene at the beginning recapping the ending of the tournament, and I'm pretty sure they show like an angle of Johnny getting the impact of the kick, and then he just falls to the ground, and like there's a close-up of him and he falls to the ground and it pans in on it, the Cobra Kai logo on his back. That was really well done. Like they for something that started off as a YouTube show, someone clearly threw some money at this because it looks fantastic. I think the cinematography and everything, it's well edited. It feels like a throwback. It feels like this show could take place still in the time that the movies did. So I really like how the show looks. And yeah, I'm very curious to see where the series is going to go from here on out. So, there you go, Mom. I finally watched it. Are you happy now? You can stop. I'll do the rest of the series, on my own time because I've got a lot of other shit to do. But yeah, that about does it. Let me know down in the comments what you thought of Cobra Kai, if you've seen it. I feel silly asking, like, what do you think is going to happen next? Because if you're watching this, you've probably seen it all already, and you're just here looking for my reaction. But yeah, apart from that, be sure to like, subscribe, ring the notification bell so you can stay up to date on when I'm posting. Follow me on all my social media, subscribe to my main channel. Everything you need to know will be in the description. Thank you guys again for watching, and I'll see you later.